Hey everybody. Yeah.
Um,
Hi guys.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to the next episode of our panel discussions attempt to square finance. And today we are discussing DeFi growth with Telegram mini apps, what they are, how they're used, whether there are like any developments planned with them. And we're still waiting for, I think, one more speaker. There's been a slight hiccup with the setup, but I think almost everybody is here now. And yeah, let's just get this discussion going. I'd like to remind our audience that if you are watching it on YouTube, LinkedIn, or X stream,
Telegram,
then you can
Discord.
also ask any questions. Yeah. I think on Discord, yeah, we won't see the questions if they ask them on Discord. But yeah, it will show up for us if they ask it on YouTube, LinkedIn, and I think Twitter. Anyways, really,
Technologies.
really nice to see everyone. And yeah, let's start with the round of introductions. And let me just ask you guys how you're doing, who you are, what you're doing. Tell us more about your projects. Let's start with some new guests. So, Islam from DropHunter. Hey man, how are you?
Hi,
Uh,
Ben.
Tell us a bit about
Thanks,
yourself and
Yuri.
your project.
Introduct my project.
You can start with yourself or just the project. How you feel?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. How are you?
Great.
I'm from Kazakhstan. So we launched DropHunter maybe 6 months ago. Now we have 750,000 people right now, users. So our platform, it's like airdrop platform inside the Telegram. We help project to launch their token and get more holders. Like we create platform can who can send tokens to our holders, and the project get more holders and subscribers in their social network. It's like payment task, something like this, but actually it's more look like real airdrop platform. We launch ton ecosystem coins, but not only. We have inside in our application, we have wallet, and users get coin there, and then they can withdraw. So actually, we have three projects. First, this is DropHunter. Second, we have Amabit, because we are ND. We have like ND broker of Binance, OKX, and Bybit, and we create a trading terminal for traders who want trade on three market exchanges in one time. So right now we start onboarding our users from DropHunter to Amabit and other project. So we have a team, international team. Our CEO live in USSA. I'm from Kazakhstan. Our CTO is from Spain, and we have big development team. It's about 15 people. So that's all. Maybe you have some
Awesome.
questions.
Thank you. And you can hear me.
Yes.
There is slight lag. Thanks, Islam. We'll get back to you in a moment. Let's continue with Max Baburin, who is, I believe, the CEO of BlockchainNinja. We've been trying to get Max on our panels for a few months, and I'd like to tell you that finally we got him, and I convinced Max to actually skip their weekly team call for this. So yeah, thank you, Max. And please introduce yourself and also your project for us.
Yeah, hi guys. Hi Ted. Thank you for invite me. So yeah, I appreciate to your introduction. So I am chief of marketing in different projects. The first one is the checks, traditional checks, and they also create a clicker like a side game to attract more people before they are launched the main product. So I'm actually head of marketing and digital marketing into the coin avatar. That's the L2 protocols project where you can stake your crypto in different mold and coins, like a visualization of your cryptocurrency. So, and in this case, we also just start to create, but start to build our own clicker games. So I think that's the trend of customer acquisition now. So we can speak about it later. Here I am. Thank you, all of you. I hope this conversation will be awesome.
Thank you very much. Next, let's invite Yuri to introduce himself and Clemmer and tell us a bit more about.
Hey guys, nice to be here. I'm a co-founder of Claima. Claima is integrated quest platform, so it's I think one of the reasons I'm here. We're also integrating in a bunch of Telegram mini apps, driving engagement where the community is. We recently hit 6 million users. We don't really have any kind of platform. We work as a B2B. In terms of myself, well, since 2017, I've been doing it as a marketer, like a bunch of ICOs, helped to raise over $200 million for them, especially in 2017, 18, and 19. Not doing it that much. Happy to learn about what you guys thinking about Telegram mini apps, where it's going. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And then let's ask Anna Kimson to tell a bit more about herself and her journey in this industry. And yeah, tell us something about also your
Hi,
project.
I hope I'm audible.
You are, absolutely.
Am I audible?
You
Okay,
are.
perfect, because I have like some technical issues today. But yeah, thank you for having me here. I'm Anna Kimisen, Head of Digital Content and Media Relations at Soulstorm. We are a fully automated launchpad and focusing on premium launches, trying just to make the entire process of launching tokens via our platform much easier, simplifying the due diligence process, token creation, and liquidity management. And yeah, this feature should save time for projects and investors and definitely protect the users from other, let's say, scams in the industry. That's why we are like rolling out the Soulstorm 2.0 and enabling some processes to make the entry barrier for people launching on our platform a little bit more difficult. We have features like required Twitter verification for projects and like a lot of amazing features and marketing tools, for example, like the distribution of 10% from supply to token holders, which is going back to Soulstorm token holders and gives a lot of visibility to projects. Amazing updates to share. Our TGE is upcoming next month. And yeah, we will hold our IDO on CDFI. That's about us. And yeah, I'm happy to discuss today's topic.
That is awesome. Thank you. And let's finish this round of introductions with Chris, the co-founder of MC Squared Finance. Hey, Chris, remind our audience what MC Squared Finance is about.
Hey, great to be here again. It's always exciting with so many great speakers. I think it will be a very interesting discussion. MC Squared Finance, the host, as always. We are building a platform to help you very simply analyze, discuss, invest in DeFi. Because what does a trader need? He wants to analyze the current status quo, make the right assumptions, then discuss it with the peers in a secure and trusted way to make the right conclusions, and then trade in a secure and safe way where they do not need to care about the execution path, rather what they just want to do and get it done. that's exactly what we're doing with MCSquare Finance, and it's very exciting. Currently, we are rolling out our version 4 platform. So you see now every week actually new updates and changes to make it easier for you to trade in DeFi. And that's basically what we're doing, and I'm looking forward for a very exciting discussion. Maybe a single point, the app is not yet on Telegram. We have already a Telegram connection. You can get your alerts there. And we're working on it. Probably take some more weeks before we will be able to directly host the app in Telegram as well. Ted, you're muted.
Can't hear him.
Great. Thanks for reminding me. I was muted indeed. So we potentially also expect harsh from interact joining. But let's kick off this discussion and let's start with the first question. Typically, we start with definitions, but we all know what Telegram is and what an app is. So let's skip the definitions and actually get to the next question. So let's try to categorize the Telegram mini apps. Like, what are the ones out there? And to answer this question, I would like to to start with Max, because I'm pretty sure that Max did his time researching these, and I'm pretty sure he has like a clear picture of how to categorize them.
Yeah, thanks, Ted. So, in my humble opinion, we have two different types of in-kind Telegram application. That's the first type. That's like a side games or side project, what currently projects and brands create just for engage the customers, players, and they have no idea how they should transfer them to the main product and project or product. And the second part is when the company is clear, understand why they do that and what they should do with this application. For example, when if you a couple of your similar, I don't know, like base features integrate to your Telegram application. So, and that's really helps some kind of customers to do something with it. So they solve some issues, or it's like a daily run for them. So, but it's not just about the fun or something like that. That's about the product, because I saw that Telegram application is like a new market, like a Google Play market or Apple Store. Now we have a huge market with the Telegram application, and it will be integrated into your main product or die after the listing. It has died a lot of project before. So yeah, that's it from my side.
Thanks.
What?
Also, I'd like to remind everyone that you can raise your hand as Anna perfectly demonstrates, and then you can continue with the same question. So, yeah, Anna, please go on.
Yeah, I would like to add that it's a very great entry level for especially also Web2 users. And we saw like a significant rise in the use of Telegram mini apps, for example, even with the games like Hamster Combat. And yeah, we definitely should educate the audience about the today's topic, because we saw like a lot of news popping in and like a lot of movements, and also a lot of disappointments from the community side with like the recent updates, especially like, for example, on the Hamster Combat game. And yeah, it's like very interesting to see, because like still in the space we have like a pretty big market for that. When we compare like traditional gamify or like other sectors where you have like games, and Telegram mini apps, they are like pretty new. And yeah, it's a great chance to convert the, let's say, the flow which comes into that to like actual products. And I really like that. That's my take on it.
Thanks. Also, I'd like to ask Islam to tackle this question because I'm pretty sure that Islam also did his thorough research when they planned DropHunter and also, positioned themselves on the market. So, Islam, do you have like your own opinion on the categorization of these apps and like what place in the market they have?
Yeah, thank you very much for the questions. Actually, I think that right now we have a first waves, like first step in create big market, mini apps in Telegram. So, and like all the time when something create, first of all, in this market, create like games or some not services product, yes, something like high product or something like entertainment product. But uh, Hamster Combat and other game platforms show us that in Telegram we have huge traffic. We can work with them, but not a lot of company start work with this traffic very well. And I think second way, we see that like in Telegram apps become huge company. Like right now, it's started like Binance, like OKX, and other exchanges and other blockchain become in Telegram, and the services, of course, services. First of all, like DeFi services, financial services, um, and maybe some IT services for helping people find some stuff for their company or find some specialist or create some needs like design or technical something like this. And I think that this platform like Telegram, yeah, this is new placement, same like Apple Store or Google Market, something like this. Yeah, it's new placement, and we need work with this traffic, and we need search how we can convert this traffic into payments or into clients. And right now we try to create some how to explain in English. We want to create um, some way inside our product to convert our subscribers into our clients, and we have success with this. And I think who will be first in these things, who will be first create conversation subscribers to clients, this project will be high of the top next 2 years, 3 years, and more, because in Telegram we have very cheap leads, very cheap. For example, before, if you want get subscribers from other channel or somewhere, you need pay. It may cost $1 or half of dollar. Right now, you can buy a lot of subscribers for 5 cents. It's very cheap, but yeah, I think you understand what I mean. Yeah? We have cheap traffic, but we don't know how to convert them. So who create this conversation first? Yeah, it will be great result. Yeah.
I think they kind of already there
Thank
is
you.
a discussion around it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Somebody. So,
it feels that everybody, it's kind of what surprises me about the whole Telegram mini app kind of thing. So I think there are not many categories. We've seen only two regarding your initial question. There is the one that is entertainment, similar to like tap games and clickers, And second is some kind of a loyalty of your community that for some reason a certain product actually holding in Telegram, right? So you need people to be engaged and you kind of feeding them. And we have both cases multiple times. But what I found extremely surprising, and it's a kind of, ongoing thing I'm seeing in Web3 over and over, is that we talked also with guys from Notcoin, and we've seen a lot of like all these clickers, somebody have a couple of million users, 3 million users. None of these users doing anything, but we have found like 0 projects that would actually ask users they gathered who they are and what they're actually doing and what they're interested in, which amazes me because the whole thing exists already for many months. And the only thing, so it costs you like sometimes 2 cents, sometimes 5 cents. And users already can actually make certain actions, so they kind of engaged. It amazes me that throughout last 5 months, there have been 0 products that asked one question: who the fuck are you? What are you doing here? And what actually you want to do? What kind of issues and problems you have? And I'm kind of still waiting when it's going to happen, because it's already everybody thinking about monetizing, maybe selling ads. I know a bunch of companies that are trying to channel this traffic, let's say, to gambling. But nobody actually knows who they are and what their life story is. And I mean, it would be super easy. It costs you like 0, right? So we're kind of fantasizing who are these millions of users. Why not just to ask them? I know it's not terribly common in Web3 to ask people and your users what they want and who they are, but it's pretty much standard practice in all of the tech. So another one small thing that I don't know if you guys been following, I'm just sharing because I think it's within the context. I think, well, it's between you and me, it's actually super alpha, I think, right? So I think in 6 or 7 days, Line has to announce that they're going to have mini apps. And Line is essentially just a huge, well, it's not as huge as Telegram, but it's 250 million users, in Asia. So I think this is where the whole thing going to start. And somehow we managed not to figure out who the users are and how to convert them. It's going to be very interesting, I hope, bull market. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your input, Yuri.
It's really a great point on the quality of consumers, because like understanding what your customers really want and what else you can use it for, because like the main game nowadays is get as many people on Telegram as possible and then sell them to other apps that they need them as well. So that's kind of was the last 5 months. But if you want to reuse your users and actually get them more exposure to Web3, more understanding to Web3, you actually really need to understand what they want. And that's actually rarely happening. And it's also currently, I think, the app who actually can crack to turn a Click app user into an actual Web3 customers who understand Web3 and utilizing the services, even if it's like sending money to friends, as simple as that. I think this will be one of the drivers of the bull run.
My feeling is that out of the millions of users in different geos, I'm absolutely agreeing with you, Chris, but my feeling is that, right? So what's the distribution of the different countries in the Telegram? There are going to be a lot of course, CIS countries. In Europe, Telegram would be considered almost like a darknet messenger for many, which was surprising for me, but still. But also Latin America and kind of, emerging markets. And I mean, most people from Web3 kind of hate me for that, but it's kind of almost like you can see how distribution of crypto coming somehow together with online gambling, which also now kind of going in these directions and trying to like, I know a bunch of guys and I know that they're also looking into like Latin America and also ways of distribution. So first of all, it's just economic activity, which is fine. And crypto is also economic activity and it's also gambling for someone. But what is kind of very interesting about all of these users, and I don't really know if crypto have a good solution right now besides meme coins, is that if it's a gambling, right? I know that companies would acquire maybe for $1 deposit, initial deposit, but deposit, let's say in gambling, going to be around $2. So it's very small comparing to Europe and others. So it's incredibly small checks. And the question is, how shall we not even like propose them to use something we already have, but maybe create some kind of economy that considers that your average check is $2-3, right? So what kind of value can we provide considering this is funds they're operating? Because in gambling, they know that. In Web3, nobody have idea like how much money they actually have. So I think this is interesting. It may be not even they discovering how great we are, but maybe building something for these millions of people that, on all of these microtransactions start to make sense and brings value.
I believe that Anna wanted to comment on that.
Yeah, so I see also a big problem in the space, especially when it comes like to the slow entries, and we saw it with meme coins, or like let's say like airdrops, right? I would rather compare like airdrops with the same thing what we have like with the tab games or like Telegram mini apps. So we have like a lot of bots which are just like there to like actually farm, and this could like lead to what the previous speaker said, that you actually don't know about your users and where is then the actual conversion rate. That's my take.
Yeah, guys, but I will tell you something. Are you remember this? The highly motivated person, like audience, who just wanna get some additional rewards into the project from where they come to your bot or your channel, whatever. So as Yuri mentioned, that's probably Nigeria or the countries like. For whom the $1 is something meaning and something valued, like so. And Yuri make the good hint, like when the crypto casinos get your ass into their funnel, they never let you go out, like so. Here is another case in the Web3 space when we have some play, like free to play games, whatever. So I think the most of project just expect to feel the, I don't know, like fill the community with the cheaper traffic than we have ever, like so. Because for me, especially, just this new source where you can get a new blood and drain this source as well. But the question is how to transfer this highly motivated audience to use your main product. So that's my question. Because, for example, the Bloom, this ex Binance and they have more than 57 millions right now, and they still, I don't know, monetize this, like Islam said, with the advertising, with the, like reselling this traffic.
Yeah.
So that
One interesting, very interesting note about how to make revenue out of it. Hamster Combat does not make revenue with selling the users. Hamster Combat makes actually money with advertisement on YouTube. Because they have the like flywheels. The closest flywheel they have is join Hamster Combat Telegram app, go to YouTube, like some of the videos to get extra points, therefore ranks high in YouTube, gets exposures to new users, and they come back to the Hamster Combat app. But with the exposure on YouTube, they get a ton of advertisement money from YouTube. So it's in the millions per month they get because they are one of the top YouTube channel. So I think it's a very smart way of monetizing the things actually over a third-party service again.
Yeah, and here we get an answer to Yuri's question why they don't care who their users are, because the model works without knowing who their users are,
It
right?
doesn't really work. So yeah, so you obviously can even like you can make them start to make them clicking some banners of porn. I mean, it's going to work for 1 and 2 months. At a certain point, it stopped working, right? Because it's not only clicks; it's also engagement with the video. And anyone who would ever make a marketing of the video on YouTube would know that if you just have like engagement farming just through likes, I mean, it's not enough. There have to be actual engagement, and they're actually really good at that. So the fact that users not engaged most of the time shows that, first of all, maybe they're not really loyal to a product. Maybe it's random users. And what kind of also surprises me is that everybody talking about these cheap numbers of initial acquisition. Well, initial acquisition is almost like a prospect. It's not really a lead. They haven't done anything back. If they, in B2B, they become starting lead when they, for example, at least share their maybe personal information, their email or telephone number. At least they say somehow qualified in terms of being interested. But somehow we kind of trick ourselves saying that all of them motivated. And I would say it's not motivated. It's mostly random dudes. But some of them are motivated. And still, when we're trying to push them through like certain funnel, even if they cost $1 or $2, that is still very cheap if we're talking about financial services. So instead of thinking about hundreds of millions of users, which is just mind-blowing number, I would think that how can we filter out somebody who is completely useless, right? So they're not interested in anything at all. Well, ads might be a way, but my feeling it's not sustainable, right? So if we're looking for sustainable business model, I think all of these apps works really good as a top of the funnel, right? If you're as a marketer. But you need to build other parts of the funnel, because what in Web3 happening is that everybody thinking that, okay, we're bringing shitload of users on top of the funnel and they immediately convert. Once again, it never happens in anywhere in internet. It never happens. You need to push them through the funnel, right? And you first need to create the funnel. So the idea that it's going to be immediate conversion, it's almost bizarre. I mean, I don't know why we think that it's going to happen. With gambling, it definitely doesn't happen, right? So the acquisition cost like I talked yesterday with the guy, 35 cents, right? But the deposit going to be $1.5 in all these emerging industries. So, well, it's just a few percent. But definitely, like, thinking about that, another interesting part, which I think everybody's missing, is that why wouldn't you actually collect the data of all of these users so you can actually reactivate them in other accounts? They would give you emails, even phone numbers, and I would say somehow it would be more efficient from marketing standpoint, rather than just considering that they're going to come back over and over to your app.
Yeah, on the right of the host, I'll play speaker a bit, and I'll kind of develop your thought on developing the funnel and also collecting the data. So actually, when we had sort of collaborations with such apps, we kind of tried to dig a little bit deeper down the funnel by connecting the dots, by having people to actually get into our product, and also we as much as we could collect their data. I think it is doable up to a certain point. It is still like a marketing campaign, and it is still more like about numbers, but certain percentage actually converts. You're absolutely right. There is a huge hidden potential that currently feels like it hasn't been developed. Before we'll be jumping straight to the next question, I believe that Anna raised her hand like several times already at this point, so I'll let her to express her thoughts.
Yeah, so I think it's amazing. Like the Telegram mini apps actually sold us the idea that you can create like basically like the idea of like earning like from nothing, right? So like the point till now is that the apps don't really have like the utilities. So like my opinion on that, and I shared this already in many panels, was that in my opinion, when there is no like real value for these apps or like no utility added, then I see the entire mini games just like a sinking ship, because people, like already mentioned earlier, they will get tired. Like probably it will take them a month. And especially when we look at Hamster Combat, which is a great example of like the big disappointment of the community. People like used the app like for several months, and like the return they had from it was like almost close to zero. So as I believe that community building in Web3 is everything. And I even say always that like a saying we have in our culture, so like there would be no king without like a kingdom. So it means like when you don't really take care of your community, then you actually can never like promote a product or something, right? So the community is the driving force behind everything you're doing in Web3, and that's why you should not drain the shit out of it like Hamster Combat did. And of course, like it's a great thing to see that they have like so much YouTube engagement, but like in long term it's just like not sustainable. The same thing like we had to see in many meme coin projects, and the huge disappointment in the communities, which also lead like to like a big drop in this topic. So that's my take on it.
Thank you. I'd like to start with addressing next question to Islam, because we don't have as many, directly developers of such Telegram mini apps. So Islam, I'd like to ask you, like, what risks should be considered by the devs when engineering such Telegram mini apps?
Those good questions, actually. But Many apps come with their own risk, of course, but the main concern is security. I think if applications lack, how to explain how what kind of risks we have. I try to explain, but I think my English not so very well to explain risk. Yeah, Anna, if you can help me to answer these questions, I will be
Sure.
happy. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, like as you mentioned, definitely like the security concerns. Like definitely Telegram has a strong security features, but like still the mini apps in the entire ecosystem, they have a risk. They can have phishing attacks, or like also like the smart contracts vulnerabilities and like data breaches. And also like it comes with a lot of regulatory issues, like when you think it like for the future. So that's definitely like one thing I would love to mention or like to talk or hear your opinion. And also like somehow we talk about DeFi, but it's still like kind of a centralized risk there, right? Because it's still operating through Telegram. And yeah, then we have like again this controversy about DeFi and centralization. So that's my take.
Max?
Yeah, I just want to share the case. I don't know if it's risk or not, but I saw the case when the team developers team the same with the main product and with the side game like mini apps, clicker, whatever. And the issue is next when we start play hard with the mini apps and have no time to develop our own product. So we just I don't know, fine tuning, I don't know, add some new features into the Telegram apps and, you know, like playing without any deadlines and without any clear strategy. So that's also the risk. Just do your work for work, you know, like, so I saw how it looks into a few projects when they didn't produce the product, but they try to finalize their mini apps, but without any plan.
Awesome. Yeah, Anna, please go on. I'd also like to ask you to elaborate a bit on regulatory risk if you know of any particular cases or concerns.
So for now, I would just like to add like one thought I had, especially like as my past experience in the space with having like many roles and as executive assistant and working for many C-level executives. I always was wondering why like the main focus on Telegram lies on like mini games or like general like, yeah, let's say like also games or other mini applications. We have such a strong network there, and as you know, all our business workflow happens like through Telegram, right, and the right connections. So I would love to see in future more people building actually things which are valuable for the industry, and like certain bots which like optimizing like the workflow, especially like kind of like I'm using, or like I have a team which like developed kind of the things I used in the past to support me in my daily workflow and log like messages and like kind of pipelines that I can follow up. I mean, like we are lacking of so many things like CRM systems, like internal company organizations and structures. So like this will be my main focus like in future, because I just know how much I struggled like in the six years of being in Web3. And yeah, like I wouldn't even put the focus much more on the step games, because yeah, that's just my take on it. But like regulatory issues, like yeah, I can't like bring right now examples, but I will think like till the next question, like about if I can come up with something.
All right, and that's fair. I believe also Islam wanted to add something.
I think the main risk, without actually like technical risk, if you lose your trust from your community, because any technical risk you can do something with this, But if you lost trust, you do anything, it will be fail down. Yeah, because the community is so how to say in English,
Touchy feely.
yeah, they feeling you so so good. So when you do something bad or just think about something bad, they know about this. And actually, yeah, if you think about community, if you try to do for them something good, well, and create for them something interesting like a product, maybe some profit or another, they stay with you. But if you do that, they go out.
All right. Anna?
Yeah, just adding a quick quote about that too. Wait, I hope I haven't lost my thought. I lost my thought. I'm so sorry.
Right. I think that's all right. I think let's get to the next question. So, speaking of interfaces, I believe I'd like to address this question primarily to Islam, but maybe somebody else would like to contribute as well. So, speaking of interfaces, like how drastic is the contrast? Because when you're developing the Telegram mini app, it should be optimized. Uh, 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 yeah, you see some question on the screen dedicated to DeFi. The question was like pre-made, pre-written, but I'm speaking specifically of user experience perspective without ties to DeFi in particular. So, Islam, what considerations are made when you're making it, or perhaps Yuri'd like to jump in straight as I see he's eager.
I try to explain my experience. Actually, I think in Telegram you need to create some usability very simply, not a lot of tabs, and if you do something simple, clear, and for users, like simple way for users, it will be nice. Or if you create something difficult, yeah. Actually, I start trying because my English is not so well and forget all what I want to say.
So you favor simplicity over complexity and convenience over sophistication. And let's hear from Yuri.
Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. It's just a browser, right? So Telegram basically just introduced the browser, and it's mostly like HTML5 application, and more or less it's just a web page. So, for example, in our case, Claim integrates into like web pages, mobile applications through. If it's mobile application, a Telegram mini app is just a browser. We consider it just being like adaptive front end, and I think it's going to basically follow any other guideline from mobile UI, right? So it has to be readable, different screens, so on and so forth. I think it's kind of challenging for some Web3 folks, and the reason is because nobody actually building for mobile. I mean, most don't really build it ever for mobile, and for some, it's just the first business ever, so they have to learn about grid, and it's challenging. But I mean, it's just a regular front end of the mobile application or your mobile blog, right? So it basically comes down, can you make... So there is one thing that is regarding Telegram UX is terrible from my perspective. It's especially deep links with Wallet Connect, right? So this is amount of garbage that we ate throughout like weeks trying to plug it in together, and deep links doesn't really work, right? So then when your app need to commit, well, they kind of work, but I mean, it took us a while, and there wasn't really clear in terms of documentation, but overall, I think it's regularly just a mobile. I think they're going to improve dramatically with time, especially on part of documentation, because I would say UX for developers, because we can say about UX for users, but UX for developers with Ton ecosystem, it's pretty garbage from my point of view. Maybe Islam going to like correct me. We've looked through like a few dozens chains and ecosystems, some of them better, some of them worse. But it's been a challenge for us. Maybe something changed. We've been doing it a few months ago, so I think they're kind of going rapidly. But long story short, I think it's just a classic mobile grid, and you make it readable, and you run a bunch of tests, and then it kind of works.
Thank you. Before we are going to jump straight to the next and final question, I'd like to remind our audience that if you are watching it over the live stream on YouTube, LinkedIn, or X, you can actually drop questions in the chat on those platforms, and we'll be able to catch them here on our StreamYard and address our experts. So, and I would also like to incentivize the audience to check out our socials and our product at MT Squared Finance. We constantly run different types of campaigns, and if you are really into this, we also have open ambassador programs for various kinds of creators. So let's bring crypto adoption together. And I see one question specifically addressed to Chris. So let me read it. It comes from Leonardo Iker, who asks, like, we have a gaming platform with 5 games live and 40K users in our Telegram bot. How to 10x that user base and how to translate into lifetime value. And I'd also like to invite all other speakers, try to answer this question, despite it's being addressed to Chris. But maybe Chris has his own opinion on this, so let's see.
Like, I think it's, if I would summarize the call, we started with understanding your users, asking them some questions. I think it's always a great start. What does your user actually want? What can they do with it? Then if you know what they want, if you know kind of, for example, what country they come from, what type they are, what they're interested in, you then also know much more what value you can provide for other platforms, for other websites, or what are maybe features that you could integrate to increase revenues. Is it like P2P trading? Is it like that you can resell the users, which could be an opportunity? Several options here. And then afterwards, you can increase the value, you can increase the activity, and therefore typically make it like into a better application, so that the process is always straightforward. Otherwise, it has to be, you have to look very deep into the special model, or what are the special users that are currently using the app, to understand more how to maximize the revenues potentials.
Thank you. I also believe that Anna wanted to tackle this question as well.
Mm-hmm. So what I always recommend is to utilize all the features like certain applications have, right? So it means like Telegram, you have like a beautiful feature that you also can start polls. I was just doing like a voting on like Halloween costumes, but like you can do it like also in several spaces, like to improve like your user experience and like to engage with the audience, which also like like interaction with the users anyway is great. And who knows your product, like the end product, like how is the best when like it's built by the community. So the most, for example, successful products I saw, like especially in the KOL space or influencer marketing, are always this ones where the community got involved in building them. And that's a great feature.
Thank you. Yeah, I was certain that Max is going to take this question as well. yeah, Max, let's do.
Yeah, I just bring a couple of tips, like working tips. So
Absolutely.
The first one, guys, if you have some 40K users, as Anna mentioned, work with your own community, because you should remember every day newbies come in and appear in your community, and this funnel, this circle should be recycled. And about growing, you can start working with the similar project like you, like who have 100, 200 Ks, and just start to make some collaboration, like bot collaboration, like when you add some task into your bot to go to different project and make something with their own bot, and they do the same for you, and you just I don't know, make migration audience 10K 20K step by step. Then you can grow as well, and when you have 100K or 200K, you can do this more quickly, you know, like you just need to ask your partners to make this quest, not for a 20K, for a 200K, for example. And you can drain their audience, but you can make a kick for your audience, go to another project as well. So that's would help to grow fast. And then remember, yeah, you should care about your own community, create some mechanics, build some funnel with the email whitelist, and then so on and so on. Then you can work with this information and classify your audience and separate them and make some different offers for them. So yeah, that's the case. Thanks.
All right. So turn out the way. I believe Anna wanted to continue, right?
Yeah, I just want to add, like, the same thing what we are doing here, right? Education is key, and like Telegram has also a great feature to stream on it, or doing AMAs, invite like other people to it, and yeah, just keep your audience always engaged and posted, and onboard also like the newbies. And I don't like the word draining community because yeah, it sounds like not nice, but yeah, it's always
But
good
true.
to collaborate. It's always great to collaborate, and a lot of people working like on a shout out for shout out principle or like cross marketing. So that's a great way to like increase your audience. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, thanks, Anna. Not to drain, like make some collaboration.
Yeah, we always do
Sounds good.
make these collaborations. And so let's get to the final question. So where does this all lead to? What are other possible applications of Telegram mini apps, and where we can expect big developments? I believe that initially when we just started today, Islam, touched, this issue of, future developments. So perhaps Islam, you would like to also elaborate on this a bit?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Is it like, the trend now, or is it the meta? Telegram mini apps, they're trendy now, but can we expect like some specific developments from them? Perhaps you have some expectations on this, and like what in particular?
What kind of interesting development? Uh,
Yeah, like anything. Can they evolve, and what do you expect?
I think right for me, like for my
Yeah,
team,
exactly. You understand?
right
Okay.
now we launch our funding crypto fund. It's named Taurum. Like inside Telegram, you can like we create trading index. We collaborate 9 traders in one index, and start mini apps in Telegram for investors who want to invest in trading system, but with trading. Oh my god. Sorry. Actually, I can explain in English very well. I don't know, try it right now because.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think that we got the point. And yeah, I wonder what Yuri thinks of all of this. He also touched, this subject.
Yeah, I think that it's going to go to the same direction as the gaming going. So, yes, obviously there might be some value you can extract from Telegram, which I highly doubt. I think it's going to be around entertainment, most of it. And as far as I know, for example, Line for the which is Asian version and their mini apps, they looking forward more in terms of games. But if you look at games, all the games that we have right now, so first of all, games is a great market, and mobile games is a great market. It's engaging, and you can actually extract money out of it because it's been done already in mobile gaming. The issue is that games suck, right? So Homestar Combat is a terrible game. There's like nothing happening there.
Not a game.
It's not.
Yeah, so it's a game of you. Yeah, it's not even a game. So if we talk about so-called games, so it's not really a game. It's basically just a static hamster, and you're just tapping it. Which is ridiculous because it's way more primitive than an original game from 1971, the ping pong, right? And the reason why it's more primitive because it was a kind of multiplayer. You could play with someone. So I think where it would go, most likely, at least they're going to be a part of it, is that these games first have, I think they're going to jump for more maybe multiplayer arcade games, some kind of tournaments, and they weren't going to be branded, right? So if I would, for example, how I envision it might go, that let's say in a year, if this whole thing's still happening, it's not going to be one generalized mini app for everyone. It's going to be, this is the mini app for the one who likes the football, right? So all the betting's going there and all the brands going there. And the other one is going to be for somebody who likes whatever, surfing. And you would basically try to engage your community around these verticals, because right now it's just a soup of everyone from everywhere. And it's almost unusable. Sometimes they have completely different interests. It might be just a taxi driver from Pakistan, and it might be just a manager from Dubai, and they have completely different life. But I think when they're going to be like vertical games, right, for specific communities and different maybe subcultures or whatever, like consumer cultures, also they're going to be some kind of multiplayer, because multiplayer is the only thing that actually engages, right? So it brings more engagement than single player games. And actually any kind of games would be already good enough. Everybody just been too kind of trying to compete with Hamster Combat. It's terrible mechanics. It's super lame. And it just has to be better mechanics, and maybe for more specialized groups, right? So, for example, if I'm a Nike or Adidas, I know that there are 10 million people who like football, and they have some kind of related to that. I would go and actually buy an ad there, and this is the way to monetize, right? I think we're kind of super early, but it's almost inevitable that we're going to go through the same path, right? So these vertical markets, more engagement in terms of like users getting together, tournaments, which is even like in you have tournaments even in gambling right now, right, on all the websites. So this is the way to engage. So it's pretty straightforward. I don't think there is kind of way out. I doubt that they're going to be something super useful apps, because I don't know why you need Telegram for that, right? You can use this app outside of Telegram. So it has to be something related to community. And it's going to be game, most of it, I think. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to agree with you about multiplayer. I think Telegram itself, its infrastructure, has better predisposition for multiplayer games than most blockchain-based games, where you actually depend on transactions, and sometimes they lag and sometimes they don't work out. A couple of years ago, I had collaborations with some, like trading card games from blockchain, and yes, it was quite painful to try to play them because of all the limitations of blockchain at the time. Okay, who'd like to go next on this question? Yeah, sure, Anna. I think you're muted now.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Hi. So I was mentioning already earlier when about management systems, right? Like I see too much focus on the community part, but not so much on for example, the community management part, which is actually much more necessary than just growing the community. So definitely I see a lot of people building currently apps, and also many bots to kind of to increase workflows, definitely, and also to leverage deal flow pipelines, BD teams, and actually everything you need to for later, for to have a community on top. So I'm a big believer that we will see definitely a revolution when it's more adoptable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. I think we are wrapping this one up unless anyone wants to add anything on top. And I'd like to give the opportunity to all our speakers to shill a bit extra of their, companies, projects, and whatever you're doing, so that our audience also have clear understanding on future developments for the upcoming few months and more. So let's start from top to the bottom on my screen. So Anna, please tell us a
Yeah.
bit more about Soulstorm. Maybe it's something our audience needs to know.
Yeah, so Soulstorm has a lot of things going on currently because, as I mentioned earlier, our TGE is upcoming for our in-house token, Soulstorm. So, yeah, it will be connected with our Launchpad, and it will be also related to certain marketing campaigns people can start. For example, when people like launching a token on our platform, they have the ability to distribute 10% of their token supply to all the Soulstorm token holders, which gives them great exposure to many wallets. And yeah, that's like one of the key features. And yeah, like our IDO is upcoming on CDFI. Like we are still finalizing the dates, but like approximately on the 17th is the TGE, and right before, like around the 14th of November, we will have our IDO. And yeah, like another great info is that we are rolling out our in-house Soulstorm space, and inviting everybody to join. We will have great speakers, and yeah, it will be held on Thursdays, and just visit our socials. And thank you for having me here. It was a great conversation.
Always pleasure
Thank
to
you.
have you. Let's continue with Islam.
So thank you very much for invitation for this event. Actually, it's very easy for our project, because if you want to earn some coin and you can do some tasks and participate in our activities, and you want to collect some coin from one ecosystem and other ecosystem, you can go to the DropHunter, do some task, participate in airdrop program, and collect coin. That's all.
Thanks a lot. Max, any word on BlockchainNinja?
Yeah. About BlockchainNinja, we're just an agency who help with the Web3 companies to make marketing. So, but I want to share some information about Coin Avatar. That's like a multi-chain protocol that visualize your crypto, LST, and make it, I don't know, valuable, tangible asset. So we just jump into the mainnet. So welcome to a website like coinavatar.com. So and enjoy with our mold and coins as well. So thank you for chance to be here. Thanks, guys, all of you.
And we'd be glad to welcome you again on our upcoming panels. And now it's Yuri's turn to show a bit of glamour.
Yeah, well, we're not really user-faced. Well, we kind of user-faced. We're more a B2B solution. I think what's exciting is, as I mentioned, we're integrating with Line. So it's an interesting way to essentially engage your audience and maybe build your community outside of, traditional geos that mostly English-speaking. So it's Korea, Japan, Southeast Asia, which I think is very promising. One of the fastest growing economies in the world, middle class and huge love for crypto. We're integrating TikTok tasks for community, where essentially if you run a project, for example, you can ask your users to create content or tutorial about you, start posting it in TikTok. And if it's a few 100,000 users doing it, most likely you're going to get millions of impressions, at least based on our initial tests. I think that's exciting. And somehow TikTok been kind of out of Web3 marketing for no reason. We also have an integration coming with Farcaster. So you can, it's pretty small. It's mostly for, our own enthusiasm. It's not that there are so many users over there, but it kind of follows our philosophy to, provide the solution for engagement where your community is without pushing your community going somewhere. So yeah, it's a bunch of stuff coming. But overall, yeah, that's it. thank you guys. It was a pleasure to chat.
Yeah, I'd like to comment a bit on your answer. So we are actually also exploring our way into getting our community engaged with TikTok instead of us doing this directly. As for Farcaster, yeah, I think it exploded about half a year ago, right? And then kind of died a bit down.
It
I
depends what
think
the audience, what kind of like who you're working with. In our case, we're a B2B solution, so we have to work with C-level management. If you want to talk with somebody from Coinbase, it's pretty easy to go in Farcaster and pretty likely actually going to get DM. So in our case, we're working with marketing directors, marketing agencies, and we kind of have slightly different way. For us, it's kind of a way also to show things off. I think it's a great community in terms of the quality because it's gated with paywall, right? So you need to like pay maybe like $14 a year or something like that. So there's no bots. So it's kind of dependent what kind of business you're in, right? In certain cases, it makes sense. In other cases, might not make sense. It's fine.
totally. And since Chris had to go, I'd take his place and tell a little bit more extra about anti-script finance. So definitely we are doing a marketplace for smart portfolios. If you are just interested in following and tracking your investments into DeFi, then you're welcome. You can connect a wallet and track your investments multi-chain and have it in connection with various analysis tools. And if you're a professional trader, then you can actually showcase your trades and have them validated so people start following you, so you have a better way to monetize your content and earn from that as well. On that positive note, I'd like to thank all our speakers of this panel and hope to see you again soon. As always, we have these panel discussions every 2 weeks, and we have new exciting topics every time. So really glad to welcome all you guys, and yeah, till the next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.